Hello, hello, hello. Jay Vix here. Welcome to another episode of Meet the Experts. We are getting close to 100 episodes. We're going to hit it this year. I'm so excited for that. We're actually doing something really special for episode number 100, which should be in December. So we're just a couple months away. Meet the Experts is the anti-podcast, is how I refer to it. It is a place where we interview business owners and we let them talk about all the great things that make them who they are and what they do and who they help. And then we give it to them so that they can use it in their marketing. So it's less podcast, even though it has that podcast feel, and more of like a web video, marketing video creation service that we can do remotely. And it was born out of the pandemic, and it's become such a joy and one of the things that we do to meet new people and expand our network and grow our network, that it's really taken on a life of its own, and it's been a lot of fun. So if you own a business or a thought leader, or you just have something that you're an expert in and you want to talk about because you need some marketing videos in your business, or you just think it'd be cool to get interviewed, stick around to the end of this episode. And at the end, I will tell you exactly how you can apply to be a guest on Meet the Experts. There's no cost involved with it. I'll go over that after today's great episode. So let's get right to it today. Today I have Jason Laricchia with me. He and his wife Stacey opened the Birthday Suit, which is a hair removal place. It's a franchise, and I can't wait. They opened it in 2011, and I'm gonna bring him on to share his journey, or his and his wife's journey of how they got started, and then kind of get into franchising a little bit and go beyond there. So I'm not going to waste another second. Jason, hi, how are you today?
Good. How you doing, Jay?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. I'm looking forward to this episode because I love this franchise angle. I'm a big fan of franchising. Our show is usually not about just any one particular thing, but we've been running this kind of series where we've been talking with franchisees, franchisors, business development, franchise brokers, mergers and acquisitions people. So it's really cool to get a perspective from a franchisor, especially one who's really jumping into that role. So tell us a little bit more just about who you are and what you do.
Yeah. So, I mean, my wife and I back in 2011 decided that we were going to open a waxing spa. And she came up with the Birthday Suit in the middle of the night, just kind of sprang up. Had been throwing name ideas around, and Birthday Suit came to her, and she's been in the aesthetics industry for over 20 years. And I come from a customer service background, so for us it was kind of like, hey, we each bring something to the table. Let's go at it our own way and kind of offer what we feel is the better mousetrap for the hair removal industry when we open the Birthday Suit.
I mean, the name is awesome. I mean, there's no doubt that the Birthday Suit is the coolest name. Like when I first saw that, they had this application to have a guest, and the company was the Birthday Suit, I was like, this sounds like provocative. Like I got to learn more about it. And you also, so working with your wife probably has its own challenges, but it sounds like you guys complement each other well in business. Has that just been a really good experience so far?
Yeah. So I think the best part of that relationship that we have on the business side is that her being a licensed esthetician, being in the industry for over 20 years, and knowing the day-to-day and the grind of the actual business itself. I mean, that's where she takes the ball and runs with it, and is awesome. And then I kind of hang back on the back office side, and handle some of the advertising and the marketing, and signing the paychecks, and helping with the ordering and supply ordering and stuff like that. So we each have our own lanes, and she her lane is much wider than mine. But we've been able to handle it, and she's grown it and blown it up.
That's awesome. It's a perfect compliment because I mean, so many entrepreneurs, they try to, you know, they're good at something and they turn it into this business, but then the business side of it usually gets them. Or you have other people who are like really good with like business, but they don't know how to like do the work stuff or really understand the work that goes into it. So it's, you got a perfect compliment there. Speaking of that work, tell us a little bit more about some of your products or services, and then who they really help. Who's your target audience?
So we offer full body waxing, from head to toe. Obviously, maybe not the very top of the head. We don't suggest getting waxed up there. But other than that, I mean, it's anybody who has unwanted body hair that they want to take care of. And we've got clients from 12 all the way up to 80.
Wow.
I mean, really, our target market is probably that 20, I would say late 20s to mid 40s range.
Okay.
A lot of stay-at-home moms, a lot of business professionals, maybe even, it's for everyone. We have men, we have women, the preteen who maybe has a little bit too much facial hair going on, in between their eyes, and they want to separate and have two eyebrows. Maybe their arm hair, their leg hair is a little dark, and it's a self-conscious thing for them. We've had parents bring their kids in, and we want them to feel special in that way and do something for themselves and make them feel more confident. Again, up to the 75, 80-year-old, who maybe is recently single again and wants to get back out into the market, and wants to prevent a hairless self. It's really, again, it's really for anyone, and that's what we wanted. And going back to the name, when we were throwing ideas around and the birthday suit came, and we were just like, oh my god, it's perfect, because a lot of our competitors tend to lean more maybe towards the risque, sexualized side on the naming front, where the birthday suit is just, it, like you said, it's fun, it's kitschy, it's there, but it's not, doesn't give away too much, but it doesn't give away too little. It just kind of fits.
I think that's awesome. I agree with you 100%. I was like, the name just fits, and I don't know a whole lot about the hair removal industry at all. So then when I think about waxing, and I know we kind of didn't really talk about this, but like, does it hurt? That'd be the question.
So it's funny, right? Like, that's one of the questions we get all the time. Does it hurt? Like, what's it going to feel like? Is it hot? And unfortunately, movies and TV and just, entertainment industry has over dramatized it, right? It's not like the 40-year-old virgin, it's not like Hitch when he's getting waxed before too. They're not screaming out Kelly Clarkson when when they put the hair off. We use the top wax in the industry, primarily a hard wax. There's two different versions of wax. There's soft wax, which is what you normally see in the movies, where they put it on, they put the piece of cloth over, and then they rip that piece of cloth, right? Our wax is hard wax. The wax goes directly onto your skin, warm, and as it cools, it shrinks down, it grabs the hairs, and then you're just pulling the wax off. There's no extra piece. The wax is not adhering or sticking to your skin. So I mean, is it painful? I think it's different. It's a little bit different level of tolerance for everybody. I mean, you are ripping a hair directly from the root out of your skin. But overall it's not bad. Again, I think it's a different pain tolerance level for everyone.
I'm sure. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know people who have, and different, obviously, but I've talked to people who have tattoos, and if you ask one person, did it hurt? They're like, oh my God, it hurt like you wouldn't believe. And then you ask somebody else, and they're like, no, I love getting them. It feels great. I
Yeah.
like the feeling. So I think you're right. The pain tolerance is probably similar.
It's the same. I can't get a shot from the doctor, but I can sit in a chair and get tattoos, and it and it doesn't feel bad. So
Is different. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So look, 2011. So 12 years in business. That you must be doing something right. You're growing, you're expanding, you're adding franchisees. This question is more along the lines of, has anybody ever said anything to you? And I'm sure you've got several, but is there like that one testimonial or that one thing that somebody said to you that you reflect on from time to time, and it kind of like makes you want to keep getting up and doing this every day?
So yeah, I think one of the major ones that kind of sticks out in my head, and when Stacey and I were coming up with the whole concept and the idea of the birthday suit, right? I mean, it's funny, in our office, we were sitting in a sushi restaurant talking about it, and like the paper table placemat menu thing is, we literally have notes on all the things that we wanted inside of how we were going to do it, how we were going to be different from the competition. And one of the main things that we decided early on was that, you know, we had our daughter at the time, and she was not even 2 yet. She was still only maybe 1 when we first came up with it. Is that we wanted it to be a family friendly atmosphere, and we wanted parents to be able to bring their kids in, so that they get their personal services done. So we created a kids playroom, like a kids only kind of waiting lounge, separate from the general waiting area. Big comfy pillows, a TV playing cartoons, coloring books, crayons, stuff like that, so that, you know, parents on the go could bring their kids, not have to worry about getting a babysitter. So I think that one thing that clients over the 12 years, and I mean, it still happens today, and every time we hear it, it's just that, it's that feel good feeling that we get, is the parent who's like, oh my God, thank you so much. You know, it's so awesome that I can bring them, and they just sit, and little Timmy or little Susie is sitting in there. And one of the greatest things too is when you're in there and the kids, you know, watching a cartoon and they're coloring, and we have our logo in black and white, like a coloring book page. And so the walls of the playroom are completely just plastered and covered with kids, their coloring and their art of our logo. And so
Awesome.
the kids come in, and we love it because they come in and they run straight to the wall to show their parents, like, oh, look, it's up here from last time. And we've had to reset that wall multiple times. You know, but when the parent comes out and the parent checks out and they walk over to the door of the playroom, it's like, all right, ready, it's time to go. And the kid's like, no, wait, I don't want to leave yet. I don't want to leave yet. Like, to us, it's just that warm, feel good feeling, because we know that, you know, we did that right. Our competitors, you know, they don't want you to bring your kids in the room. They don't want to have your kids waiting by themselves in the waiting area. Like, you know, it's a little bit more clinical feel when you walk into one. And ours, like our lobby areas, have big comfy couches and a coffee stand. And, you know, it should feel like you're walking into a friend's living room,
Yes.
someone's home, just that comfortable atmosphere. And so, you know, I mean, again, for us, we probably hear it multiple times a week. You know, just parents loving the fact that that kid's playroom is there, and just the kids loving it too when they come in, and they're excited to be there, and they're excited to put up another piece of art on the wall.
Sure, that's amazing. So I know one of the things that I learned very quickly about you when we did kind of our pre-interview and we met and spoke for the first time and arranged this recording. One of the things that I thought right away that we were kind of kindred spirits, aside from sharing an actual name, because my name is Jason, even though I've always gone by Jay. But one of the things that I just loved was like the customer service aspect, because I pride myself and my business and my agency on, like, we're not always going to be perfect. Things are going to happen. We're going to get the occasional curveball. Life is never, as you know, doesn't go always according to plan. But at the end of the day, I want to provide my customers the most wow that I can give them, right? And if that means, you know, a big comfy couch if they had to come here, or if that means just that they never have to call a 1-800 number, or that, you know, they can get me you know, any day. It's, you know, they can speak directly to the owner even if I have a team member working. And I feel like what I quickly glanced from you right from the get-go was that you have that same attitude towards treating the customers right, and it goes to show with what you do for the kids.
Yes, I mean, I think that, again, going back to that sushi restaurant menu where we had all our notes, is we really wanted to be customer focused, you know, and customer friendly. And, you know, and Stacey said it best, um, describing our service as an affordable luxury, right?
Mm,
Getting waxed is like any other personal care service. You're doing something for yourself. It's not a necessity. It's not something you have to do, but it's something that people want to do for themselves, make them feel better for whatever reason it is, right? And so we wanted to keep it as an affordable luxury because we wanted to keep those price points lower, so that people could do it, right? Again, it's a luxury item. It's not a necessity. It's something, it's a disposable income thing that people don't need to do. But by keeping the price affordable and being consumer friendly in that aspect, it's definitely something that was important to us, um, and that that we definitely wanted to be one of the drivers of the business.
I love that. Do you still have that sushi restaurant
We
paper with your notes?
we do.
Yeah,
It's
that's awesome.
it's up in the office, and it's got, we probably need to get it framed at some point because it keeps getting push pinned and moved from wall to wall. But yeah, it's we have it, and again, there's just notes about, different names, and what we wanted to do on the employee side, how we wanted to come at it from the customer service side, from the pricing side, from the decor side. We wanted to kind of take that box of what people might think traditionally a waxing spa is, and kind of shake it
Hmm.
up a little bit and come at it from a different angle. And like I said before, a lot of the you walk into a waxing spa that, again, maybe is a nationally recognized franchise or just a competitor brand, and it's a lot of white walls or tile flooring, and it almost has that doctor's office feel and somewhat clinical. um, so you might feel a little uncomfortable, right? It just has that cold feel to it, and it's definitely the complete opposite of what we wanted, right? It was that big cushy couches, warmer colors, walking into what you feel like is a friend's home. So instantly you're a little bit more at ease because you're about to take some articles of clothing off, in front of somebody, and get your waxing service done. So, one of the things that was super important to us was just making people feel comfortable and welcomed, in the space, and really focusing on that customer service and, client satisfaction aspect of it.
Yeah. No, I think that's incredible. So, getting to this point, you mentioned that Stacey's is a esthetician. Is that what she
Mhm.
is, or just okay? So, I call it the earned it, learned it, and improved your authority question. Like, to get to this point, either educationally or certifications, or like what did it take for either both of you individually, or what did it take to get to this point from just like that education or training perspective?
So from the education or training side, I mean, as a licensed esthetician, Cece had to go to aesthetic school,
Hmm.
and I'm not sure of the exact number of hours at the time, when she got her license, but I mean, it's still primarily the same. I mean, estheticians have to go to school for hundreds of hours. I think it varies by state, but I want to say, and again, don't quote me on it, I want to say it's usually somewhere maybe between the 800 to 1,000 hours of schooling. And
Okay.
again, it varies state by state. But once you get that, it's still that continuing education, right? Like what they were teaching 5 years ago, what they were teaching 10 years ago, 15, what they were teaching 2 years ago is completely different, and there's new things that come along within skincare, right?
Hmm.
So she's got that. I mean, another thing that has recently come up is, she's now nationally published and globally published, as a skincare and waxing expert, by a few online and print magazines, that regularly reach out to her to help write articles or to answer questions that they may have about, waxing and skincare in general. Um,
Okay. That's pretty
so
awesome.
so in that front, I mean, there's that, and then on a local front, being that we started in Las Vegas, we've earned, I think, 5 Best of Las Vegas awards, over the span of 12 years. As I think at the first year we were open, we won Best Spa. We didn't even know about this thing. Like, we didn't, someone had nominated us and people could go on and vote, and we had no idea until we won and beat out like Vegas hotels, spas on the strip, and stuff like that. And we're like, we only do waxing. And then the next year, they actually created a best waxing category
Wow,
separate
that's
from the
awesome.
spa. So we're like, oh, like we must have done something right and disrupted a little bit, because they had to create a new category for us.
Fantastic. Congratulations on that too, by the way. I spoke to my wife last night. I was getting into bed and I said, we've picked up a couple of awards along the way, and I don't use that in my my marketing very often, but like there's, I should have no problem saying we're an award-winning agency. Like you talk, like tout that. I mean, if somebody's recognizing you for doing something right, you should want to share that with people. Don't be like, oh yeah, I'm too modest, I'm not going to talk about this award. No, just share it. I mean, you should promote that and be proud of that. And I think that's really awesome. So congratulations. I'm going to change gears on you. We're coming to the end. I only got a couple more questions for you. And this can be personally, this can be professionally. It's up to you.
Mm.
But if I said, Jason, just tell me something that you're truly thankful for, what's your answer?
I mean, personally, I mean, I'm thankful for my wife. I'm thankful for my kids and, you know, my family and just the home that we've been able to build, switching it over to because of the business, right? I'm thankful for our clients. I mean, really our and we call them our TBS family of clients, has been amazing from the day we opened our doors in June of 2011, so a little over 12 years ago. I mean, we have we have clients that have been with us, I think, literally since day two, who have been regular clients once a month coming in through, through everything. We've seen clients, it's funny, Stacey jokes in that 12 years, she's seen clients, go through, she remembers the first time they started dating a guy and telling her about it in the room, right? And again, it's that intimate service, it's personal, it's like you're getting a haircut, you're talking to your esthetician while you're getting waxed. So she remembers a client, oh my God, I just met this guy, we went out on our first date, and then a year later it's, oh my God, he proposed to me, we're getting married. And then a couple years later it's, I'm pregnant, we're having a kid, we bought our first house. Like, we have clients that, she's seen the progression of, from, graduating college to dating to meeting their spouse, getting married, having kids, family. And it's the same on the staff front too. We have staff that's been with us since, I think, month two, um, who we've seen, I mean, I can't even count, numerous children being born by our staff members, numerous birthday suit babies, first home purchases, first car purchases, graduating college, just those are the things that we're thankful for, because we know that, yes, we're in business to support our family, to support ourselves, but at the same time, and again, it goes back to that menu. Our focus was treating our staff like family, not treating them necessarily as just employees, right? Wanting to make sure that they were happy to come into work and that's something that they wanted to do. And we knew that that would trickle down to the clients and make the clients want to come back and see us, staying away from a membership model and not feeling like they were forced to come in, but that they wanted to come in. So I mean, we're just thankful that, the ideas that we've implemented and the way that things have gone in the last 12 years, that, we're able to still keep going, and now, growing more on the franchise side and being able to spread it, across the country.
Absolutely. So you started in Vegas. So I know you're new into the franchise expansion here. But what's kind of the immediate next plans as far as locations for you?
So yes, we started in Vegas. We have a couple of corporate locations out there. We have a franchisee in Las Vegas also. We have a franchisee that's opened in Katy, Texas, just outside of Houston, who's been open since the beginning of the year,
Okay.
doing great out there. And, they have future plans to want to expand out there as well. We have another franchisee in Columbus, Ohio, that's in construction that should be open within the next month or so. Um, and then from there, we're really open. We're in talks with some people in Arizona, in the Phoenix area. We're in talks in the Salt Lake area of, Utah. We have Dallas, Austin, a lot of interest in Florida. So kind of spread out all over. We have a location up in Minnesota as well. So it's not just the southern states. It's not just the warm weather states. People are getting waxed everywhere. It doesn't have to be a vacation town or 80% of the year sunny town. So our goal is just to kind of reach those fingers out a little bit everywhere across the country and, help people feel good.
That's awesome. No, congrats on that. That's exciting, encouraging, very very cool. And what, since we were talking about that, I only have one more question that I'm going to ask you, and it's a question about questions. But I do want to mention that down at the bottom, if you have questions about, I guess, being a franchisee, or just learning more about the birthday suit, maybe you want to find out if one's near you or anything like that, just go to www.thebirthdaysuit.com. Now, was that domain available, or did you have to buy it on a resale market? Were you able to get it right away when you wanted it?
No, I got it. I got it right away.
That's
Actually, I
awesome.
mean, this was back in early 2000, early 2011. But I got it, and it's funny because there's a band, I think like a UK band called the Birthday Suit that
Oh wow.
started around roughly the same time. So I mean, I luckily squeezed in and got it before them. But yeah, we've had it. It's trademarked. We're trademarked for the beauty industry. No one else can use our name when it comes to services and skincare products. We do have our own birthday suit line of skincare products as well. So
Oh, that's cool too.
yeah,
Awesome. No, yeah, I thought about it and I'm like, that had to be already taken and they bought it from somebody, but that's awesome if it wasn't taken when you got
we
this. That's
got
great.
we got we got super lucky, I think, on that one.
Sure did. All right, I only got one more, Jason. This has been a ton of fun. I really do appreciate you being a guest today, and I can't wait to continue to chat with you in the future. Every business has frequently asked questions, right? And I think we kind of alluded to some earlier, like does it hurt? But maybe that was, I hope that wasn't the one you were going with, but if it was, all right, we can deal with it. But every business has some frequently asked questions. So what's something that you get asked over and over and over again, and maybe just answering it on video will give you that 24/7 answer you can put on your website?
So yeah, I mean, on the waxing side of it, clients are always asking how long does my hair have to be? Will it hurt? What do I need to do to prep before and after? So our front desk staff, our estheticians are really good at answering all those questions for people. I mean, in a nutshell, you do want at least, we say, 2 to 3 weeks of hair growth, enough that you can pinch and grab that hair to be able to, for the wax to adhere and grab that hair and pull it out of your skin. We ask when's the last time you waxed or shaved. You don't want to have shaved 2 days before because the wax is not going to do anything. And we touched on the pain tolerance level of everything.
Right.
Leading up to it, to getting waxed, we say, again, one of Stacey's coined phrases is no GTL, no gym tan or lovin'. So after waxing care, you do not want to you don't want to go to the gym. You don't want to go in a pool. You don't want to do anything that you're going to get sweaty and have dirt and grime and anything else going into those open pores that you just pulled the hair out. You don't want to go tanning, spray tan or regular tan. Again, your hair is going to be, or your skin's going to be a little bit more sensitive after the waxing. So you don't want to cause any irritation. And, same thing, the leaven. You don't want any extra rubbing on the sensitive skin area. You don't want anything getting into your pores. Gotta hang and wait. On the business side, I mean, the question we get a lot of times with the franchisees is, or potential franchisees is, what does it entail? What is it gonna cost me? What do I need to do? So, we're there to hold your hand through the entire process. We're very accessible. With our training, a franchisee comes out to Vegas for multiple days of training ahead of time to one of our corporate locations and runs through. We go out to them to help train their staff before opening. On the cost front, the cost can vary anywhere on the low end from about $115,000 up to the $450,000 range to get your location opens. And it's wide and it varies. A lot of that just depends on construction, the space you're able to get and whether you have to do a full build out or you're able to take over a pre-existing space. And you don't have to be a licensed esthetician to be a franchisee of the Birthday Suit, as long as you have one working for you who can be your lead esthetician in the business. You can work the front desk. You can be a semi-absentee or an absentee owner. You have a great management staff in place. You don't have to be there. You don't have to be there daily. The way we've set it up and the way we train you, the business can run itself once you have a great staff in place.
Fantastic. I was actually gonna ask you that earlier. Like I was gonna, as a piggyback question, like, do you have to be a licensed esthetician to buy one? And I figured the answer is going to be no, as long as you hire one, because you got to have one. But I think that it came up, so I'm glad you addressed that and got to talk about that. Jason, listen, I really do appreciate you coming on. I hope you can use this video, and I hope it leads to maybe grabbing a couple extra franchisees at some point. But thanks so much. I think you've probably opened the eyes of some of our guests that are going to watch this as well. So again, thanks so much for coming on today.
Awesome. Thanks, Jay.
I talk to you again soon.
Have a good one.
You too. All right, awesome. Yeah, Jason, hang out backstage too a little bit, till I'm done here. But I did mention at the beginning of the episode that if you stuck around to the end, I would tell you how easy it is to apply and become a guest in the future of Meet the Experts. So at the bottom of the screen there, I updated the ticker. Go to www.meettheexpertspodcast.com. That's experts with an S. Meettheexpertspodcast.com. And read about it. Find out what's included. Find out what's not included. And go ahead and apply. It doesn't cost you anything to get the interview and to get the video file sent to you shortly after the episode is over. And then we will run it and launch it as a live stream to our audience. So go read about it, fill out the application, and I can't wait to see you on an upcoming episode of Meet the Experts. So until our next episode, I hope everybody has a wonderful day wherever you are in the world, and we'll talk.